How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here in another video. So, of course, it's time for the final week of the NFL season. We have reached it, week 18, the final week of the season. So, with the final week, it means it's time for one last round of the regular season picks. So, yeah, still want to decide a lot of playoff implications this week, some tank bowl implications, too. So, yeah, let's take a look at the picks this week. So, of course, last week with my picks, I went 14-2 with my picks, so my record this year is at 159-98. So yeah, let's hope to end this season on another high note for the picks. And of course, last week for the playoffs, Tennessee clinched up AFC South, New England also, and Buffalo also clinched spots. The Cincinnati Bengals also clinched the AFC North, which I did call the Bengals beating the Chiefs last week, so I called that upset. And the Philadelphia Eagles have also clinched a playoff spot. The fact that Edie Pedo 445 is gonna have some time in the postseason makes me want to fucking vomit. But yeah, anyway, we have 3 playoff spots still up for grabs this week, along with the number 1 seed in the AFC. Because I should also mention the Packers also wrapped up the number 1 seed in the NFC. So the road to Super Bowl 56 goes through Green Bay. So yeah, 3 spots remaining for the playoffs, 1 spot in the NFC, 2 spots in the AFC still up for grabs in week 18. And of course, last week for the playoffs, we eliminated Washington, Atlanta, Denver, Cleveland, Miami, and Minnesota from playoff contention. So we eliminated 6 teams from the playoffs. So now 4 imposters still remain. And we'll find out who those imposters are this week. So, of course, for the picks this week, I know what the schedule says there, but we're going to do it a little bit differently from what the schedule on the screen says. Because usually what I like to do for the Week 18 games, all the games that have little to no meaning, we're going to do those games first. And then all the games that have more meaning, we're going to do them last. So, yeah, we're going to do the picks off and start them off with the meaningless picks. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and let's jump right into the meaningless games first. So, starting off the slate of meaningless games, first one we have the Saturday night game. We have the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles playing in Philadelphia. Well, both teams are locked into the playoffs. Like, the only thing really undecided is where they're going to finish, because they can finish literally in a lot of different spots. But Cowboys, they could still finish the number 2 seed, but they would need a lot of help. The Eagles, they could finish 5th seed, but they would need a lot of help. Actually, they can't. Actually, they can't finish 5th. They can fit at best do 6th or 7th. But they would need some help. So yeah, this game pretty much means nothing. But I imagine both teams are going to rest their starters for this game. So yeah, I'm going to say, you know what, despite it, I'm going to still say the Cowboys win this game. And I have Dallas sweeping Philadelphia. So yeah, I have the Cowboys winning a game that doesn't really matter. So yeah, give me the Cowboys in this one. Next game in the first slate of the Sunday games that mean nothing. First one, we got the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions playing in Detroit. For the Packers, I imagine the Packers are going to rest Aaron Rodgers, maybe Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams too. I imagine those 3 are more than likely not playing in this game, because Green Bay's got the number 1 seed. They got the first round bye. So yeah, this game literally means nothing to Green Bay. And Detroit, they have a knack for wanting to win meaningless games. Plus, keep this in mind, Detroit, they're still in contention for the number 1 pick in the draft. For the Lions to get the pick, they would need a loss, and they need the Jaguars to win to have that happen. And let's be real, there's no way Jacksonville's beating Indianapolis. Spoiler alert. So yeah, you know what? I say Detroit, you might as well just go out and win this one. Win one for the fans, because the fans have had to deal with a lot of shit this year with this being a brace the suck season. So you know what? I'm going to say the Lions take full advantage of Green Bay resting their starters, and I have the Lions winning a game that doesn't matter. So, yeah, I have Detroit winning this game. Because what? Because, fuck it, this game doesn't matter anyway. Win one for the fans to end the season on a high note. So, yeah, give me the Lions against the Packers. Next game, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings playing in Minnesota. From what I know, both Mike Zimmer and Matt Nagy's jobs are on the line in this game. And I imagine more likely whoever loses this game is going to be fired. I would be shocked if both coaches got fired no matter who wins. Yeah, I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings because you know what? If Minnesota wins this game, that doesn't matter. It would be enough for the Vikings to keep Mike Zimmer around for another year or two. Because, yeah, the Vikings are complete fucking... Because the Vikings front office are complete fucking idiots. I mean, it wouldn't shock me at all if both teams kept Nagy and Zimmer respectively. Because both teams' front office are complete fucking dumbasses. But, yeah, that game, give me the Vikings in that one. So, yeah. And the next game, well, we can't end the season, though. We need to end the season one right way. And that's with a tank bowl. So yeah, this tank bowl matchup will see the Washington No-Names taking on the New York Giants at MetLife, a stadium that's hosted many tank bowls in the past. So yeah, this one should be no exception. And from what I'm hearing, this could be the final game that the Washington No-Names compete under the name football team. Because it's been announced that Washington plans to announce their new team name on February 2nd. Maybe this team will actually get a real fucking name instead of the fucking no football team, so then I don't have to call them the no-names anymore. But yeah, for this game, fuck it, who fucking cares for this game? I'm gonna say the fucking Giants win this game because fuck it. Plus, I believe Joe Judge's job, it may or may not be on the line this week. I know some reports are saying that his job should be safe, but you never know with how unpredictable the league is, so... You never know what could happen there. But yeah, I'm going to take the Giants because I believe Joe Judge might do everything he can to keep his job. So yeah, give me the Giants in that one. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing in Tampa Bay. I imagine Tampa Bay's more than likely going to rest Tom Brady for this game and a couple other starters too, because Tampa Bay's already locked in and Panthers are already eliminated, so this game literally means nothing. And I feel like even despite that, I still feel like the Panthers are still going to lose this game. So I got the Buccaneers winning because the Panthers can't seem to win with Cam Newton or anybody at quarterback right now. Panthers just can't catch a break. And plus for this game, on the Panthers, there's questions that Matt Rule might be fired. There are some reports of that, so that's going to be up in the air. So yeah, I still feel like the Buccaneers win, and whether Matt Rule gets fired or not, that's yet to be seen. We'll have to see what happens on Black Monday. But anyway, in the final meaningless game we're going to go over, we have it actually has some meaning, but not a whole lot. We have the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals playing in Arizona. Arizona can clinch the NFC West with a win and a Rams loss. And of course, the Seahawks, this could potentially be Russell Wilson's final game in the Seahawks uniform. And this could be potentially Pete Carroll's final game as the Seattle Seahawks head coach. Now, for Carroll, I don't think Carroll's going to be fired, but I think Carroll might retire. Because I think Carroll might say it's time. So, yeah. See, I know the Seahawks are going to be playing their ass off in this game to try and get Wilson and Carroll one last win before the end of an era. And you know what? I have the Seahawks winning this game. Because here's why. Not only do I think of that, but keep this in mind. Cliff Kingsbury is 0-5 in playoff clinching games. It's been proven that Kingsbury and Kyler the Midget Murray, they cannot win when it matters the most. And I don't see that trend ending this Sunday. So yeah, I have the Seahawks winning this game. Give me Seattle. It just seems like when it matters the most, the Cardinals just flat out shit the bed. But yeah, give me the Seahawks in that one end of the season. I got Seattle. But yeah, to everyone there, thank you all for playing this season. But now, it is time to get into the games that actually have meaning this week and actually have some playoff implications for it. So for this one, we're going to start this off, as you see on the screen, with the NFC wildcard for that 7th and final playoff spot. Now this one, it's pretty straightforward. For the Niners, very simple. Win, and you're in. And for the Saints, they need a win, and they need the 49ers to lose to clinch that 7th and final spot. Because New Orleans would have tiebreaker over San Francisco off conference record. So yeah, for the games this week. So San Francisco, they play on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. And the New Orleans Saints, they play in Atlanta against the Fail Clowns. So, and also I should mention for the Rams, the Rams can clinch the NFC West with a win or a Cardinals loss. But yeah, a lot riding in this game. I feel like the Rams are going to win this. I have the Rams winning this game because I said at the start of the year that the Rams would win the NFC West, and I said Stafford would win his first division title. I'm sticking with that prediction, so I got the Rams winning that game. And for the Saints and Falcons, I have the Saints winning that game because I said at the start of the year that the Saints would make it in on wild card this year. And you know what? I'm sticking with that prediction. I said the Saints will somehow sneak in and bullshit their way into the 7th and final playoff spot. So, see, I got the Rams and I got the Saints winning here. So, for that 7th and final spot, I have the Saints making it in, and I have the 49ers being the odd man out. So there's my predictions for that NFC wildcard. Now we switch over to the AFC, and the AFC gets a bit complicated. Now for this one, on the screen I'm going to do two for them in the same time, because the AFC East, it could impact the potentially the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now for the AFC East, pretty straightforward. For the Bills, win and the division's yours. For New England, they need a win and they need the Bills to lose to clinch the AFC East. And for the AFC number 1 seed, Buffalo cannot clinch the number 1 seed. The best they can do is second, because even if everything goes Buffalo's way, they'll end up at best tied with the Titans, and Tennessee would have tiebreaker off head-to-head. So that eliminates Buffalo from the number 1 seed in the race in the AFC. But for the AFC, bit complex for Tennessee, though. Win, and the road to Super Bowl 56 goes through Nashville. For Kansas City to get the number 1 seed, they need a win and they need the Titans to lose. For the Patriots to get it, they need a win, they need the Titans to lose, they need the Chiefs to lose, and they need the Bills to lose, because New England could still finish number 1 seed. For Cincinnati, they need a lot of things to go their way. For the Bengals to get the number 1 seed, they need a win, they need the Titans to lose, they need the Chiefs to lose, and they need either the Patriots or the Bills to lose in Week 18. So now to those games. So first off, we got the Jets. We got Buffalo playing host to the New York Jets in Week 18. New England will play in Miami against the Dolphins. Tennessee will play in Houston against the Texans. And the Chiefs, they'll be playing Saturday afternoon against the Broncos in Denver. And the Cincinnati Bengals, they'll be playing in Cleveland against the Doo-Doo Browns. So yeah, for this one, I have Buffalo beating the Jets. There's no way Buffalo's losing to the Jets in this situation. And I had the Patriots beating Miami, because Miami in Week 1, Miami's Week 1 win against the Patriots was an absolute fluke. Because New England outright outplayed the Dolphins, but the Dolphins bullshit their way to the win off a couple costly turnovers from New England that did the Patriots in. But yeah, I think New England gets redemption for Week 1. But the Bills win, so I have the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East. So that would eliminate New England from the number 1 seed race. For the rest of the number 1 seed, I have the Titans winning on the road in Houston. I have the Chiefs winning on the road in Denver because Kansas City outright owns the Broncos. And I have the Bengals winning on the road in Cleveland. So for the number 1 seed, I have the number 1 seed in the AFC going to the Tennessee Titans. So I think the road to Super Bowl 56 will go through Nashville, Tennessee. So that's where I stand with those picks. And now we end this off by taking a look at the AFC Wild for the race for the final 2 playoff spots in the AFC in the wild card race. Now keep this in mind, the Chargers and the Raiders play each other in Week 18, and the Ravens and Steelers play each other in Week 18 as well. But for the Chargers, Raiders, and Colts, it's pretty straightforward. You win, and you're in the playoffs. Now for Pittsburgh and Baltimore, if the Colts and the Chargers lose, then the Ravens and Steelers are playing for that 7th and final playoff spot. Because for the Steelers to get in, they need to win, they need the Colts to lose, and they need either the Raiders or the Chargers to lose. For Baltimore, they need a lot of things to go their way. They need a win, they need the Colts to lose, they need the Chargers to lose, and they need the Dolphins to lose to the Patriots, because technically in the standings, Baltimore is behind Miami in the standings, even though Miami's eliminated. But Miami has tiebreaker over Baltimore off head-to-head from earlier this year, when Miami beat Baltimore earlier this year. So So yeah, Baltimore, they need the Dolphins to lose so they can leapfrog ahead of them. So yeah, for the games this week, you have Indianapolis playing in Jacksonville, and you have Pittsburgh playing in Baltimore. The Colts, yeah, there's no way the Colts are losing to the Jaguars, because Jacksonville's also playing for tank bowl implications, because Jacksonville, they can clinch the first overall pick in the draft with a loss or a Detroit Lions win. So you know what? I got the Jaguars winning that game. I have the Colts winning this game, and I have the Colts also handing Jacksonville the 2021 NFL Tank Bowl Championship trophy to Jacksonville in the first overall pick. So yeah, I have the Colts winning this game, and I think the Colts, because I said, plus at the start of the year, I said the Colts would make it in on wild card, and I'm sticking with that prediction, so and I have Indianapolis in the playoffs. So I got Indianapolis winning and making the playoffs. So yeah, that would eliminate Pittsburgh and Baltimore and make that game meaningless. But let's just pretend that game still has meaning, because it still has some playoff implication. So for Pittsburgh and Baltimore, I think it's going to be very close, but I think it's going to end very similar to that first meeting, where I think Baltimore, they're going to be in position to tie the game. But learning nothing from the 2 games they've thrown away, I say Baltimore will once again attempt to go for 2 points and go for the win, because fuck it, what the fuck is a kicker? What the fuck is an extra point? And Baltimore will fail to convert it in that situation. And I think Pittsburgh wins another game off Baltimore throwing it away. Plus, Lamar Jackson's very questionable. And for this game, this game is more than likely going to be Captain Fat Fuck Big Ben's final game in the NFL, his final career game. So you know Big Ben wants to go out on a high note, so I got the Steelers on the road in this one. Give me Pittsburgh. And the final game, the Sunday night game, Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. The winner is in the playoffs. The loser goes home. So yeah, for this game, though, it's kind of surprising the Raiders have a chance to still make the playoffs. Even after all the shit they dealt with at the start of the year, you know, with the shit about John Gruden getting leaked, and then having to cut Damon Arnett and Henry Ruggs because they decided to be fucking idiots and have numerous run-ins with the law. And despite all that stuff, the Raiders are still here competing for a playoff spot. It is a pretty good Cinderella run for the Raiders, but here's the thing about Cinderella runs. A Cinderella run always ends when the clock's striking midnight. And I feel like Sunday night, the Raiders' clock is going to strike midnight. And I say the Chargers will win this game on the road, and the Chargers will get that 7th and final playoff spot in. Plus, at the start of the year, I said the Chargers would make it in on wild card. And I'm going to stick with that prediction, because I said the Chargers and the Colts would make it in on wild card. And I'm sticking with those predictions. So I got the Chargers winning that game on the road. So for the AFC wild card, I have the Chargers and I have the Colts making it in on wild card. But yeah, anyway, those are my Week 18 picks. And I have all my playoff implications right there. So for playoffs overall, I have the AFC East going to the Bills. I have the Saints getting that 7th and final playoff spot in the NFC. I have Tennessee clinching the number 1 seed in the AFC. And I have the Chargers and the Colts getting the last 2 playoff spots in the AFC. But anyway, that's all I got to say, and I'll see you on whatever I make next. Peace.